We have proof. They approved these vehicles even before it arrived in this country. They approved it. I have all the proof. But in the right time, I will release it so that the nation can see how wicked and vindictive these people are.
Is it true that two highly influential Guyana government officials threatened to seize vehicles owned by popular Guyanese businessman Azruddin Mohamed years after they cleared customs? Before we begin, why don't you hit that subscribe button to get instant updates from our channel? We'd love for you to join our fast-growing community here on YouTube. See all the links below to our social media pages. Sign up to be a VIP member, send a super thanks to show you appreciate the work we do, or contact us by email if necessary. Now for the details. Shortly after the Guyana Revenue Authority, the GRA, attempted but failed to seize several of Mohamed's vehicles on April 5, 2025, Mr. Mohamed told the press that the Vice President of Guyana, Bharrat Jagdeo, and Attorney General Anil Nandlall had previously threatened to seize those vehicles. The businessman suspects that the move by the GRA is linked to the alleged threats by the two officials, who he also alleges commanded him to do something specific to avoid losing his vehicles. We'll tell you more about the allegation in a moment.
Good. Officers, please don't take political directives. Yeah. They came again and the lawyer told them the matter is before the court.
Right.
Yes.
For next week?
Yes.
On the face of it, if the allegation turns out to be true, we could be looking at blackmail. So what exactly happened? Was someone attempting to blackmail Mr. Mohamed? And what's the truth about his story? We'll take a look at what blackmail means. Next, we'll hear from Azruddin Mohamed and what he said during the interview with the Guyana press. We will also hear from Attorney General Nandlall, who provided a detailed response on Mohamed's allegation. But first, what is blackmail? Blackmail is where someone or their agent tries to get you to do something by threatening to cause you harm. For example, exposing you to the public or to criminal prosecution. Blackmailers usually threaten to expose a deep, dark secret or a crime they think or know you've committed. It usually goes like, if you don't do this, I will do that. Or, unless you do this, we will do that. You get the drift. Blackmail is a crime and is associated with criminal acts such as coercion and extortion. The Criminal Law Offences Act of Guyana addresses blackmail-related offences, including threats and conspiracy. Back to Azruddin Mohamed. He implied that Jagdeo and Nandlall attempted to blackmail him based on allegations that they would seize his vehicles unless he issued a public statement affirming that he has no plans of contesting Guyana's upcoming national elections.
Jagdeo and Nandlall told me that they're coming to seize the vehicles if I don't release a statement that I'm not running for office.
Attorney General Nandlall denies speaking to Mohamed.
I don't know that he is running for office in the first place. I don't think that he has said that he's running for office. That's the first thing. I have never spoken to Mr. Azruddin Mohamed in the presence of Mr. Jagdeo. The impression he gave when he made that statement is that Mr. Jagdeo and I were together and we spoke to him. So I've never spoken to him in Mr. Jagdeo's presence. Since this sanction was imposed, I have never spoken to Mr. Mohamed in person or on the telephone.
Mohamed further alleges that the vehicle clearance by the Customs and Excise Department was approved by the government ahead of their arrival in Guyana. As such, he believes that his defiance of the order by the two named government officials made him a target for political persecution. Nandlall disagrees, noting that Mr. Mohamed is responsible for his own undoing when he exposed himself to the Guyana Revenue Authority through a social media post.
This thing started when one of the Mohammeds decided to publish what duties were paid in relation to the importation of these vehicles. He did that voluntarily. And he would have drawn to the attention of the Guyana Revenue Authority that the taxes that were paid or the duties that were paid were far less than should have been paid.
The GRA is responsible for promoting the compliance and enforcement of taxes within the jurisdiction, including duties and taxes on vehicles imported into Guyana. The government agency has the legal power to enforce the payment of taxes owed years after a transaction if it discovers any discrepancy. Enforcement includes ordering payment of outstanding taxes and seizing property subject to back taxes.
Parliament, by law, has given them that power. And that is not a recent power. That is a power that the Guyana Revenue Authority had for decades and has been exercising that power for decades. Businessmen who are listening to me would know what I'm speaking about. It's only the unlearned who would have heard of this power for the first time.
So far, the GRA has failed in its attempts to seize several of Mohamed's vehicles subject to back taxes. Mohamed said he won't be voluntarily giving up the vehicles.
We're not giving up the vehicles because the vehicles were approved. Everything went through the legal process at GRA. So why seize the vehicles now 4 years after? But before I released the post on Facebook, what Bharrat is talking about, right, that exposed GRA and GRA made a release and that's how the vehicle was seized, that's a lie. The reason why I released that post is because a month prior to that, Jagdeo and Nandlall told me that they're coming to seize the vehicles. They should have seized the vehicles the first day arrived in the country.
The matter is now in court following an application for an injunction by Mohamed. The court has issued and upheld an injunction temporarily barring the GRA from seizing the vehicles. The next court hearing is scheduled for May 15, 2025. I've asked you this question earlier and I'll ask you again. What exactly happened? Was someone attempting to blackmail Mr. Mohamed? And what's the truth about this story? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and keep your head up.